farm or nothing like that way. Except they play audio for him. Another go check it's supposed to be fine from here. As long as they play music, but when they talk.
And this like, what you said that?
Hello, everyone, and a very warm welcome. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are joining us from. Welcome to this live broadcast. We are here at the River State University for the third edition of the Alumni Mentoring Series. Now, this series has been running for a while now, and it is aimed at creating network, bridging the gap between those that are still in school and those that are out of school. So between people that are already in school, needing mentorship and guidance, and helping them make career choices, professional development opportunities, and also generally networking. Now, for this series, we have our keynote speaker, who is the MD CEO of Cinfores Limited. Now, Cinfores is an ICT firm based in the Garden City of Port Harcourt, renowned for its digital solutions. And the keynote speaker, the MD, is Mr. Ibifuro Asawo. Now, Ibifuro holds a Bachelor in Technology in Computer Engineering from this very institution way back when it was called the River State University of Science and Technology. And he also has further degrees in management and entrepreneurship, also holding various degrees from the Harvard Business School and also from the MIT Sloan Business School. So if you're a startup looking for mentorship, you're still in school looking for guidance, the Alumni Mentoring Program is actually one that is aimed at empowering you, making you understand that life is beautiful and that you can always have mentorship and guidance wherever you need one. For this theme, the theme for this year is the audacity to start. Risks, resilience, and reward. Of course, the three R's go hand in hand. If you have risks, and then the resilience to continue to pursue, and then the reward that comes at the end of the day. The band, as the choir, has been serenading us with lots of classical music, and I hope you have time to join this live broadcast and learn a thing or two that will help you, empower you for your future. So if you are at home or still in the university and looking for where to get help, where to get mentorship, career advice, and general professional development, please stay tuned, as this event tends to be packed with a lot for you. I'll see you again as we go into the live broadcast. Take care and see you soon. Goodbye.
Forward. Thank you. Please come forward so we can start. Vice Chancellor, Deans here present, Directors, Heads of Departments, distinguished professors, ladies and gentlemen. It is my pleasure to warmly welcome you all on behalf of the Rivers State University Directorate of Alumni Relations to the third edition of the Distinguished Alumni Mentoring Series 2025 with the theme, The Audacity to Start, Risks, Resilience, and Reward. Allow me to introduce the chief host and father of this great university, our amiable and gracious Vice Chancellor, who is ably represented by the Provost College of Medical Sciences, Professor Kenneth Odu. A round of applause for him, please. We have the chairman of the event and former Vice Chancellor, Rivers State University, Professor Barineme B. Fakai. We have the keynote speaker, who is the Managing Director and CEO, Cinfores Limited, Mr. Asawo Ibifuru. We have the Alumni National and Global President, Rivers State University, Lady Dr. P.K. Perez. We have the Director, Alumni Relations, Rivers State University, Professor Justin M.O. Gabriel. We have the University Orator, Professor Blessing Jaja. We have the former Acting Vice Chancellor, Rivers State University, Professor Okwenebo B. Owe. We have the former Provost College of Health Sciences, Professor Nerum Franklin, DSSRS. We have the Dean Postgraduate School, Professor TKS Abam. We have the Dean Faculty of Humanities, Professor Jaja. We have the Chairman, Inaugural Lecture Committee, Professor Patrick Miyopugi. Vice Chancellor, sir, permit me to recognize the Board of Trustee members of the Rivers State University Alumni Association and also recognize National Executive Council members of the Rivers State University Association. Distinguished directors, professors here present, ladies and gentlemen, you are all welcome. As it is our custom, Vice Chancellor, sir, permit me to invite the Director, Alumni Relations, Professor Justin Gabriel, for the opening prayer.
Shall we rise to pray? Almighty and everlasting Father, our Maker and Creator, our Redeemer and friend, we thank you first for the gift of life and for also making it possible that we be among the living to witness this epoch-making event today. Lord, we invite your presence into this program, and we pray that you make it possible that everyone who is ordained to be here today will find their way to this event. We hand over every proceedings to your care, praying that you will make them perfect. Bless and keep each and every one of us. To your glory and honor, we have prayed through Christ our Lord. Amen.
Please remain standing for the national anthem. University Professor Justin M.O. Gabriel. We have the University Orator, Professor Blessing Jaja. We have the former Acting Vice Chancellor, Rivers State University, Professor Okwenebo B. Owe. Former Provost College of Health Sciences, Professor Nerum Franklin, DSSRS. We have the Dean Postgraduate School, Professor TKS Abam. We have the Dean Faculty of Humanities, Professor Jaja. We have the Chairman, Inaugural The university anthem.
Reads you, we sing of thee, flower of knowledge and peace. In the garden city stands a tree, from whence inspirations come. The people of many at home, come and search and find a golden place. All for us simple and humble song, all for excellence and creativity. Reads you, we sing of thee, flower of knowledge and peace. Busy we all toilers of thee, fruitful science and tech we grow. Keep in motion the wheel of truth, waters of the rivers always flow, to build a nation in truth.
Vice Chancellor, sir, permit me to invite the Director, Alumni Relations, Professor J.M.O. Gabriel, for his welcome speech. A round of applause for him and come forward.
Vice Chancellor, Professor Isaac Z. Obipi, ably represented by the Provost, College of Medical Sciences, Professor Kenneth Odo, the chairman of this occasion, Professor Bibi Fakai, former Vice Chancellor of this university, former acting Vice Chancellor, Professor Obi Owe, thank you for coming. The keynote speaker, Mr. Ibifro Asao, the University Rector, Professor Blessing Jaja, the National Global President of the River State University Alumni Association, Deans present here, HODs, ESCO members of the Alumni Association, ladies and gentlemen, members of the community, was the philosopher Seneca who declared that every new beginning comes from some other beginning end. Today, as we gather for the third edition of the River State University Distinguished Alumni Mentoring Series, we are reminded that this noble initiative has grown steadily from one impactful edition to another, each one a seed planted, watered, and now bearing fruit in the lives of our alumni community and the university. Before I proceed, permit me to, with utmost sincerity, register my deep regret over the last-minute postponement of this event on the 29th of August to the 12th. Change was born not of negligence, but of unavoidable beyond our powers. Yes, I am acutely aware of the consequences, lost time, protest goals, and even financial inconveniences, particularly for those who only learned about the postponement upon arrival at this venue. To each of you, I extend heartfelt apologies. Your sacrifice and forbearance, though unintended, have become part of the collective investment that make today's gathering even more meaningful. Permit me now to reflect briefly on where we have come from. In the first edition, we were graced by the distinguished presence of Senator Lawrence Erojapo, Deputy Governor of Bayelsa State, who set the tone with an illuminating keynote. If I could get here, you too can, unlocking potentials through vision and determination. His story was a lesson in courage, a living proof that greatness is attainable from these very grounds of Rivers State University. The second edition brought us the seasoned sport administrator and consummate politician, Honorable Boma Iyaye. His address, beyond the degree, vision, values, and victories, resounded with pragmatic wisdom of a man who has successfully navigated the complex worlds of governance, sports administration, and politics. He reminded us that passion must be married to discipline, and that the triumphs of leadership are earned not by chance but by consistent dedication. His words, like iron upon iron, sharpened our perspectives and renewed our faith in the areas you crowned. And now, today, we stand at the third station of this intellectual and mentoring pilgrimage. The theme before us is bold, almost daring, the audacity to start, risk, resilience, and reward. And who better embody this theme than our distinguished alumnus, Mr. Ibikiru Asawo, CEO of Cinfores Limited. Mr. Asawo is not merely a businessman. He is an innovator, a dreamer turned doer, a man who dared to start when others hesitated. Under his leadership, Cinfores has evolved into a beacon of technological advancement and entrepreneurial ingenuity in Nigeria and beyond. His life is a living testimony to the words of Scripture. Do not despise the days of small beginnings. Zechariah 4 verse 10. He began with vision, encountered the inevitable storms of risk, demonstrated resilience in the face of challenges, and today stands to harvest the reward that only perseverance makes possible. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, today is also a special day between our keynote speaker and his alma mater. Although Mr. Asawo has never truly been far from this community, his visit today stands out in a remarkable way. It is a homecoming, not just of presence, but of purpose. And as such, dear alumnus, permit me to say that you and the Cinfores family are at liberty to show generosity to this university in any manner you deem right. Our university continues to look with hopeful expectation to our alumni community for support, encouragement, and partnership in shaping the future. At this juncture, I wish to express profound gratitude to the Vice Chancellor for his unwavering support in driving alumni initiatives and believing in the mentoring series as a strategic tool for nurturing our future leaders. To the Deputy Vice Chancellors, even though they are not here, the Registrar, the Bursar, and the University Librarian, whose institutional presence underscores the seriousness of today's gathering. Then to the chairman of this event, our former Vice Chancellor, Professor Bibi Fakai, who may occupy a great space in the story of our keynote speaker. To the deans, directors, faculty members, and alumni community, who continually anchor this vision with dedication and pride. And then to our students and the general public, whose enthusiasm ensures that this program is not just another lecture series, but a living tradition of impact. Distinguished audience, let me assure you, the end of this edition marks not a conclusion, but a commencement. For as long as there are alumni to share their journey and students eager to learn, this mentoring series will continue to thrive. By God's grace, the fourth edition will meet us in December, and I urge you even now to prepare your hearts and schedules to be part of it. But today, I charge you all, be attentive, be open, and be ready to be impacted. For in the words of Aristotle, educating the mind without educating the heart is no education at all. Today's conversation is not merely for the mind, but for the total man. It is about vision, about resilience, and the courage to act. Therefore, let us drink deeply from the fountains of experience that our keynote speaker brings. And let the insights shared here propel us to dare greatly, to dream boldly, and to achieve beyond boundaries. Thank you, and may this day mark yet another milestone in the history of Rivers State University. God bless you all.
Vice Chancellor, sir, permit me to recognize the head of campus, Ichi, Professor N.J. Ayotamno. You're welcome, sir. We have the Dean, Faculty of Basic Medical Sciences, Professor Fortune Amataria. We also have the Dean, Faculty of Basic Clinical Science, Professor Eminabu Buru. Vice Chancellor, sir, it is my pleasure to respectfully invite the chairman for his opening remarks. Appreciate him as he comes forward, please.
Vice Chancellor, sir. I think instead of wasting time, I'll adopt the well-established protocol of the Director, Alumni Relations. I join him to apologize for the cancellation and our starting late. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to share this alumni lecture. I graduated from University of Nigeria, Nsukka, and was employed there. As an alumnus of UNN, I devoted myself to promoting the motto of the university, which was to restore the dignity of man. And what I did was to attract international funding to the university through my research work. No wonder, although I was on leave of absence for about 12 years, the university did not fail to announce me annually as one of its products to the outside world. My achievements were an honor for my alma mater, and I realized the role of alumni in advancing the university. When asked by the then visitor to our university to undertake the rescue mission at UST, I could only make a difference by emphasizing the dreams of the founding fathers. With this, we rescued the university from academic decadence and infrastructure decay and set it on a path of steady growth. It was a tough fight, but that is history. Towards the end of my tenure, I urged upcoming administrators not to lower the university standards. Today, the university has come full circle by having an alumnus, Professor Isaac Zewo-BP, as Vice Chancellor. An alumnus who is passionate about taking the university to the next level. I'm delighted to see a Vice Chancellor who understands the role of alumni in building a world-class university. And we can see that he has started to harvest the wealth of a well-endowed alumni community. I recognize that the Distinguished Alumni Mentoring Series is one of our flagship initiatives aimed at connecting current students with outstanding alumni who exemplify the values of the Rivers State University. The first edition, as mentioned by the Director of the Alumni Relations, featured distinguished Senator Lawrence Arudiabo, Deputy Governor of Bayelsa State, while the second edition was led by Honorable Boma Iyai, a prominent sports administrator and politician. These editions left a lasting impact on the university community. There is no doubt that students who participate in the series will gain invaluable insight into potential career paths and professional development opportunities. They will also have the chance to network with influential figures, which can open doors of mentorship, internship, and future job prospects. I must commend the director of the Alumni Relation, headed by Professor Gabriel, for the choice of today's keynote speaker, which I think it is fitting. Mr. Ibifru Asawo, the Cinfores MD, is a son in whom I am well pleased. He is one of the illustrious alumni of this great university. He was also one of the key allies who helped me to achieve my goals as Vice Chancellor. All the online processes we run today in this university were the brainchild of his organization. He made me focus on building an enduring digital lifestyle at the university, and this contributed immensely to our successful rescue effort of this great institution. Today, Mr. Asawo, an innovator and a celebrated entrepreneur, will share his journey of risk, resilience, and reward. And I believe he will do justice to the subject matter of this distinguished alumni mentoring series. I encourage all of us, when it comes to the time, to really sit back, relax, and continue to enjoy this day's event. Thank you very much.
Another round of applause for him, please. Vice Chancellor Sir, may I humbly invite the National President, Aresu Alumni Association, Lady Dr. Berezi, for her solidarity speech. Appreciate her for
Great wills. Great wills. Great wills. I don't think I will accept that. Last time we were here, we agreed that when we are responding, if you ever attended this university, you should stand up if you are proud to be one of us. Great wills. Great wills. Great wills. Thank you very much. Thank you. Please.
Just introduce them.
Okay.
It is my pleasure to introduce the Vice Chancellor, Professor Isaac Z. OBP. A round of applause for her. We have seated here the Deputy Vice Chancellor, Academic Professor Valentine Ombopeku. We have the Registrar of the University, Mrs. IBS Harry. We have the University Librarian, Dr. Juliet C. Alex Mitchell. We have the University Bossa, Dr. Gibbs O. Eke. Vice Chancellor, sir, permits me to invite the National President, RSU Alumni Association, for her solidarity speech.
Thank you. So I'm back again, this time much happier and feeling very excited now that I have a very distinguished member of my community present. And so we'll do it once again. Can we stand, please? Great Wales! Great Wales! Great Wales! Thank you very much. I know that time is fast spent, so it permits me to rely on the well-established protocol. Mine is a very simple task, a solidarity message. Before I go on with that, I'd like to always use this opportunity to appreciate and thank the Vice Chancellor of this great university. You know, we just can't keep quiet when we have the first ever distinguished Great Wales as the Vice Chancellor of this university. Each time we have that opportunity, we must celebrate him. Thank you so much. In a very short time he has stayed, we're already seeing very positive changes around the university. The university has become our official residence. In almost every week, we've had reasons to be here. The first of its kind, having 2 inaugural lectures every month. I think the Vice Chancellor deserves a round of applause. I won't take your time, otherwise I would have gone ahead to say so many other things. I want to thank the director in charge of the alumni relations, Professor Justin Gabriel, who incidentally is also one of us. Thank you for ensuring that this mentoring series continues and gets better every time. Thank you. He deserves a round of applause as well. And for our own dear brother, one who we are so proud of, one who we'll be hearing so many positive things about. Today we're going to have the opportunity to listen to you and for you to talk to the younger ones that are here, our students, and even those that have left, on how to take off, how to start. And I'm not surprised, because back then when we were in this university, other students from other schools, they used to address us as students of the University of Stress and Tension. And that stress and tension built up to become residents, that wherever we found ourselves, we were able to adapt. So we are forever grateful. And that's why we must always, at every given time, find ways of giving back to this great university that has made us what we are today. Not just those of us sitting here. In whatever area or spheres of life, you will find our people performing and doing very well. So we always are grateful for that. I want to particularly make reference to the fact that we do not have distinguished great ways only in politics. We have past governors, present governors, sitting senators, and all you can mention in the political scene. We have them in the academics, and we have them in the industry. And Mr. Asao today is making us proud in the industry. Thank you. So that we don't always celebrate only the politicians. We have those that are worthy of celebration aside of politics. We want to say that as the Alumni Association, we will continue to partner with this university. The other day, we were in Houston in America, where we met our sons and daughters, members of this community, doing very well. And so you have our members all over the world. And that is why I am now proudly referred to as the global president of the Rivers State University of Science, the Rivers State University Alumni Association. Before I leave here, I just want to do something very simple. So I'd like to call on Professor Lerum, please come forward. My next members, just briefly, just a brief thing, so please step aside, just to decorate you. 1 minute and we are done. Thank you very much. Not every time we have someone like you.
On behalf of the DOT, of the Alumni Association of the Rivers State University, I, Professor Franklin Little, also an alumni member, representing the DOT, wish to decorate you with this month.
Vice Chancellor, sir, permit me to quickly recognize the Dean, Faculty of Medical Laboratory Science and Council Member, Professor A. Batimus. Round of applause for him, please. We have the Dean, Faculty of Communication and Media Studies, and also a Council Member, Professor Richard N. Amadi. We have the Director, Advancement and Linkages Center, and Council Member, Professor N. Hudson Okoyema. We have the Dean of Students Affairs, Professor Bright Opera. A round of applause for him, please. Please kindly come up, sir, to join the high table. Please appreciate him as he comes forward. It is my honor and privilege to respectfully invite the Vice Chancellor for his address and to declare the program open. Round of applause for the Vice Chancellor.
The chairman of today's occasion, the DVC card, the registrar, the librarian, R.D. Bossa, the provost of College of Medical Sciences, the DSA, the global president of the Alumni Association, the university rector, the director, alumni relations, the man that has gathered us today here, or who has invited us through the alumni relations office to come and hear him, our own Bifura Asawo. I'm tempted to add doctor, because I did very well. You think about it. The Dean PG School, deans of faculties, heads of campuses, our professors, directors, heads of department, alumni members, our dear students. I can see the associate dean of my faculty. Great wills. No, that's not how we do it. Great wills. And you are still sitting down. Great, great, great ways. Thank you very much. Please take your seat. First, I want to apologize for the commencement of this program behind schedule. We had a lot of things to do, and recall, our 15th Governing Council was inaugurated yesterday. We are not aware. We just at about 3 o'clock we got information, and today they came visiting. You know, when you have a Governing Council coming to visit, clashing with the program you already have, it was very difficult to manage the situation. In fact, the provost was with us there. I had to whisper to him, please, can you just go and keep this occasion going? So we are very sorry, it's not in our character, it's very unfortunate. Second, I want to thank the deans, the provosts, heads of campus, because earlier today they were here for a meeting, and they are still here. Can we put our hands together for them? Especially the Dean of Humanities, the Dean of Basic Medical Sciences, the Dean of Basic Clinical Sciences, the Dean of MedLab, the Dean of Communication and Media Studies. We acknowledge you. We appreciate you. Chairman of Occasion, they were here for the admission process for 2025-2026 academic session. And they did something unique. For the first time, they are doing the admission, having merit and catchment the same time, to ensure that those who catch on the delay in the admission process and start selling admission. You know, because they know if merit is, say, 70 for medicine, they know catchment might come to 69, 68, 67. So they tell people, don't worry, I'll give you admission. And then because we follow due process, we may decide to say, okay, for catchment, let us have 67. And they had already collected money from people telling them, because these people do not know. And then when university eventually gives them admission and they are paid money, those who paid money will now think university took money from them. And that's what an alumnus should do for the university, and that's what I'm doing. We want to stop that for the children. So I want to thank the deans. It's not an easy thing to sit down to do something they do over 3-4 weeks. They did it today. So once again, can we put our hands together for them? We appreciate you. I want to thank the Director of Alumni Relations for this program, and he has kept it on back to back. We are very grateful to him and his team for what they are doing for us. We want to thank them. We want to thank the chairman of today's occasion. In fact, when they called me digital vice chancellor, I told them then there is a grandfather of digital evangelism. He is Dr. Bibi Fakayo. I'm sorry, I'm not taking your time, but you know, it's not every time we have an occasion like this. I didn't go to computer school. I didn't know computer. My first experience was Professor Ayaz who said, look, you can't, I was doing PhD, he said, you can't do PhD without having a laptop. You must. Then he introduced us to SPSS. So you must use your laptop. So I was picking the buttons of managing. I was doing that. And then 2007, Professor Bibi Fakayo came. I was already faculty examination officer. And we are using calculator to calculate CGPA. Those of you who are exam officers will know what I'm talking about. It affected our research. It affected our productivity. That was how bad. And that was the time, business administration, we had 3 programs: management, marketing, and mass communication. Professor Richard, you understand what I'm talking about? We will stay, and even on Saturday, we're using how to calculate CGPA. Somebody scores this mark, multiplied by, if it's A, by 5, you do that. And we are suffering. And God sent one man, Professor Bibi Fakayo, to come here. And he said, please stop suffering. This is you are doing by way of analog. You can do it digitally. I wholeheartedly embrace it. Some people were even resistant, and I guess why? He said that is history. Because some people felt, how can we hand over the computation of results of the university to a consultant, Cinfores? But some of us felt, no, they were only facilitating the process of resource management. And they were able to migrate our results for about 10 or 15 years. They did that, put it there, and not too long I became head of department. Some students will fail exams, and then they will go to, we have the remark column, C1, F, carryover, C1, receipt. In the spreadsheet, they have F, but they were able to influence the faculty exam officer, the department exam officer, or the HOD to put CS, clear standing. But in the entry, it's failed. So when Cinfores uploaded those results, some of them in final year, the 16 carryovers started appearing. And as one of the persons in the forefront of that digitalization process, I remember some days I couldn't sleep in my house. I was chased left and right. They were told that we did not want them to graduate. Ladies and gentlemen, today we are enjoying, even examination officers today, I enjoying the job of being examination officer, courtesy of some union. So we are very grateful. And I didn't know that I was preparing me to be vice chancellor. So thank you once again for that experience you are giving to me. So today I can stay in my office and know what is happening on a university portal. Even if you pay fees now, I will know. If you change grades now, I will know. Now, I will know. Courtesy of the initiative of Professor B.P. Fakai and powered by Cinfores. I have gone this length to show that the man we have chosen for today's lecture is not just an alumnus. He is an alumnus that means well for the university. As I became vice chancellor, a lot of things have been done without the university paying for it. They get it done using Cinfores resources, and later we always discuss. As usual, you will send me several invoices, and I will tell him this we can pay and this we cannot pay. That's why today you have internet facilities here as I'm talking to you now. Today, you have internet facility at the administrative building. You have internet facility at Lagos. That is Safran. They call this building Abuja and call it Lagos. Today, it's courtesy of Cinfores. Today, we have what they call sponsor students account. Some of you might not appreciate that. Some parents will have and guidance. They will have their children will come to school. Instead of paying fees, they will use the money to do Bet Ninja. They will not pay their fees. They will not expect that at the end, by the time it will be close to exam, they would have made some money through betting enough to pay their fees. They will not pay their fees. They will not register their courses, and after 2 or 3 years, they are not able to graduate. Meanwhile, the parents and guardians will be asking them. So, chairman, a leading professor came to my office, retired. She wanted to know the grade of her daughter, who ought to finish a year ago. She had waited and she couldn't wait again, so she came to me as director of ICTC. What's the mark number? She told me and checked. The girl is not only unable to finish, the girl cannot finish in the next 2 years because of the number of carryovers. Elderly woman, she was shivering in the chair. I wept. I was looking at her. If only we had the opportunity of the student sponsor account, where as a parent or as a guardian, you can pay the fees for your ward and children at the convenience of your home. If only we had the opportunity of parents to check the results of their students online, of their works online. I hope you know that wouldn't have happened to her. And today, as we are talking, we now have the student sponsor account. We have RSU Renaissance that has created an opportunity for us to share the re-engineering vision of this university. We did that, came up with certain resolutions, including a fundraising activity that we are about to do. All this have been driven by Cinfores, and so today is an opportunity to acknowledge Cinfores for all what they've done for this university. Interestingly, today is part of their anniversary. That's why, Prof, sir, you see them dressed the way you dress. Please permit me to invite Cinfores 20. Oh, I've not even mentioned that one. Can I invite members of the Cinfores team to please rise and wave at us? Let's put our hands together for them. They've done very well. Thank you very much. We acknowledge you, we respect you, we appreciate you. Your contributions we are not going to take for granted. Please continue to support us. Please sit down. So all these have been done by Cinfores. So it is, including the e-voting that was introduced, that the Ijaw National Congress, the fourth largest ethnic nationality in Nigeria, did the election that Ijaw, they used to shoot gun, they were running. And I told them, when I became member of when they made me member of the electoral committee, I said, look, I'm the chief, I cannot do analog election where they will come out, because the last one, it was when they were counting the votes, they had and everybody ran away. I said, as a chief, I cannot afford to run away. They said, what do you want to do? I said, I want e-election. For the first time, people in Canada, I believe, Australia, UK, all over the world. And that election, we started about 10 o'clock. By 2 p.m., we are done. They were calling us and we were putting the microphone on the phone on microphone, and they were hearing us. All powered by Cinfores. So I have the pleasure, ladies and gentlemen, to invite one of the brains behind Cinfores, who is going to speak to us today. And I know the person will introduce him, but he's a very special person to us. And to declare this occasion open, Mr. Ibifuru Asawo, can you please stand and take a bow as we applaud you for making this university proud? Thank you and God bless you.
Vice Chancellor. Vice Chancellor, sir, permits me to invite the choir to give us a brief rendition. Thank you. Thank you very much to University Choir. Vice Chancellor, permit me to humbly invite the Managing Director and CEO of Cinfores Limited, Mr. Asawo Ibufuro, for his keynote address. While he comes forward, may I invite University Rector, Professor Blessing Jaja, to lead this presentation. Appreciate them as they come forward.
The Vice Chancellor of our great university, Professor Isaac Zeb BP, the former Vice Chancellor and Chairman of the third Alumni Series, Professor B.B. Fakai, very distinguished ladies and gentlemen, citation of Mr. Ibifuru Asawo. Mr. Ibifuru Asawo is a software and innovation strategist who delights in problem solving using software and other digital solutions to enhance business processes, improve service delivery, and operational efficiency. He is the Chief Executive Officer of Cinfores Limited, a company he co-founded with 3 other friends from his time as a student at this great university. He has continuously steered the company towards greatness through its 20 years of existence, making it the foremost information and communication technology for development company in Nigeria, delivering innovative digital solutions for clients' efficiency. Together with the rest of the Cinfores team, he started the company as a college startup with no funding and went on to build an outstanding organization that collaborates with states and federal governments, ministries, departments, and agencies, oil and gas companies, academic institutions, multinational ICT corporations, and many others. With the help of God, his network of friends and associates, he has grown the college startup company from 4 friends to 7 directors, more than 150 employees, and numerous agents, partners, resellers, and channels across the nation. He is committed to making the company globally competitive and a leading global brand for ICT innovation and implementation to meet the needs of people in both developed and emerging economies worldwide. Under the leadership of our guest speaker, Cinfores Limited has developed and deployed a wide range of innovative ICT solutions across key sectors. This includes its education suite, Brain Friend, Sukulu, Teachers Hub, campus management platforms including eCampus, Aspire, eSchool, and tax management information systems for state revenue collection, as well as Meditrack for hospital administration. Most notably, the company introduced the Court Management Information System, COMIS, a pioneering solution for automating justice administration. First implemented in the Rivers State Judiciary, COMIS has since expanded to several states, including Lagos, Osun, Oyo, Ondo, Ekiti, and the Federal Capital Territory. Its e-affidavit module has revolutionized electronic affidavit generation, and its success has led other high courts to adopt COMIS for its filing processes, driving greater efficiency, transparency, and timely delivery of justice nationwide. Following his graduation from this great university, our guest speaker has pursued a variety of personal and professional development endeavors, including executive courses in driving strategy and innovation at the MIT Sloan Business School in 2019, entrepreneurship in emerging economies from the esteemed Harvard Business School in 2021, and artificial intelligence implications of business strategy also from the MIT Sloan School of Management in 2025. He is married to his lovely wife and has 5 children, and is a minister in the Redeemed Christian Church of God. He enjoys reading, playing football, and table tennis in his spare time. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming a digital solutions specialist, an accomplished entrepreneur in emerging technologies, and a worthy ambassador of this great university, Mr. Asawo.
Thank you. The Vice Chancellor, Rivers State University, the chairman of today's occasion, Professor Bibi Fakaye, whom we call our daddy, distinguished members of the high table, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I'll stand on all existing protocol. Today, we see it as homecoming. Homecoming that we've been coming nearly every day. Okay, so it's a mixture of, yes, being recognized today, but this journey began since 2008. So we've been home all this while. Today, I'm taking this lecture, but I'm not doing this lecture alone, because for as many of us that have heard our story, you know how we met on this campus. And there are very few organizations like ours, you know, dotted around this country. We are friends who come together and have stuck together for over 20 years. It's remarkable. And, you know, so today we are going to present it. You heard that we started as 4 friends, became 7 directors of this organization. And today we are over 150 staff, and we are in over 7, 8, you know, states of the Federation with office, with presence. Of course, our solutions are everywhere. That has been made possible because people have come together this number of years and we've stuck together. And I know many places when we go to give lecture, people ask, how have you people done it? That for 20 years you've been, you know, together as partners. So 3 of us actively are running the company, and then 4 of us are outside, okay, the organization. But we all met on this campus. We became friends, we were leaders in the Nigeria Fellowship of Evangelical Students, and we've remained friends and brothers, you know, ever since. And that's one of the things, you know, that is quite remarkable about us. Beyond that, you know, in the course of this journey, we've met, you know, special people. A few of them are here, you know, that we need to recognize and acknowledge, because, you know, when you hear the progress we've made, and we go into our discourse, you find out that we do not really have any background, okay? No political influence, no, you know, rich, you know, father or mother. You know, every one of us from humble background, you know, met on this campus. And how have we been able to move, get into places that naturally, you know, people from our own background cannot get into? We've seen people that have stood by us. Like the chairman of today's occasion, you will be hearing quite a lot about the chairman because of the role he has played, you know, in our lives. God placed people in strategic places as we went along this journey. All we needed to do was just to start the journey. And then God placed people in strategic places that have played, you know, major role for our own advancement. So today, we'll be having a mixture of all of these testimonies in our discourse, because I've always told people that, you know, the most important resource God has given to mankind is not the natural resource, but the human resource. It is the most important resource, you know, God has given to mankind. And in our story, how did we evolve this organization from zero capital in this campus? On this campus, without anything, have we evolved this solution to something that people are envious about all across the country and beyond? It is because of what? Of human resource. People, what we call in business the social capital. You know, when I go to teach, I tell younger people that don't joke with your social capital. We didn't have financial capital, of course, for those of you that, you know, teach business and the rest of it. You know that we have financial capital, which of course most times people dwell on, but we didn't have financial capital, okay? But we had social capital. So part of those that will be speaking today is one of us, a pioneer member of the, of the organization. She wasn't part of, the directors that came together, but she's been a member of staff from her student days up till now, and she happens to be our chief operating officer of Cinfores today. So we're going to be looking at how someone who, you, as it were, as a then, you're not a director, but will be selfless and then commit the whole of your life, 20 years of your life. We all started this journey in our early 20s, and today we are in our late 40s. And, she's stuck with us amongst other people that are here, that you're going to hear their own story as well. So I will do a bit of it, and then some of my colleagues will also come and then talk to us how partnership works. Because in this part of the world, everybody wants to run his or her own business all by themselves. But here, the Cinfores story is about partnership, is about brotherhood, is about social capital, leveraging the strengths of different people, people that we see as our fathers and mentors in the course of our journey when we met them. And then, of course, the younger people that have also looked up to us, as mentors, how we have been able to leverage the relationship. So, great beginnings often die in hesitation. Great beginnings often die in hesitation. People dream of starting businesses, projects, and movements, yet never take the first step. People, the dream, as we are seated down here, almost 200 of us, if not more, inside of us are dreams. Inside of us are projects that we are looking forward to. Inside of us are movements, things that we want to begin that will change the course of things. Yet, we do not go out there to take the first step. Fear of failure, lack of financial capital, and uncertainty holds us back. And we keep on thinking. So the first day we came together, to think about our first software, that day it was during the ASU strike in 2002, during the protracted ASU strike. And we're all seated as friends. We normally will meet, in our parents' homes then. And this particular day was, in the house of late Professor, Ikechi Wogu's residence. And then we were discussing, what are we going to do, after our final year project? Because we were all writing our final year project then. What are we going to do, okay, before we go for NYSC? And so we were now discussing that day, and then an idea dropped. And that idea is our foremost software, which is called BrainFriend. We did not hesitate. Immediately that idea dropped. The rest of my friends were all engineering students. I was the only one studying computer engineering then here. And I fortunately had a computer. I was a Shell scholar, and I had, a desktop computer, which I was using for my project. I rushed to the room, and immediately that idea, I began to work on that idea. That was how we were able to make progress. By the time we got stuck, we met other people that were better than us in what we were trying to do, and then we got them on board. And that's how our journey began. And so the fear of failure, hesitation, lack of capital, or certainty holds people back. We did not think, if ASU strike is called off, what will happen? In fact, when we had that dream, it was like within 2 weeks, we are going to execute that project, and then, we will achieve our dream. 2 weeks turned to 1 month. And then, of course, before long, ASU strike was called off. Immediately, we suspended this, our pet project, and then, we embraced our school project. We finished the school project, and we just only discovered that we had a bigger project to pursue. And once we were done with the school project, everybody converged again, and then we started pursuing this pet project that we had. We did not hesitate. Of course, we had so many challenges on the way, but that did not deter us. Of course, we didn't know so many things. There were so many uncertainties in the area we are going into. We are looking at how computers will be used to do examination. This was far back as 2002. 2002. We are talking of over 20 years plus as we speak now. This is now the time that WAEC, NECO, and the rest of them are trying to embrace what we saw. Of course, there were challenges. The PC penetration, wasn't this high. Internet wasn't there in 2002 the way we have it, prevalent now. But we did not spend time thinking of how difficult and how impossible the dream we had will be. Starting is the boldest step and the most transformative. Starting is the boldest step and the most transformative. When we started, all the things began to fall in place. Everything began, and we'll share our stories as we move on. You don't need permission to begin. You don't need permission to begin. You just need courage. You don't need permission. You don't need to get permission from anybody to begin that project. All you need is what? Is courage. All you need is courage. So beyond the gloss, there was grit, we had grind, and then grace to start and to endure. Starting is an act of courage. Starting is audacious. At taking time to look at certain things, even kids as kids. Our first step from the point of crawling to the point of toddling, it's what it takes courage. Children that are fearful, you notice that will never walk very early. So those that are courageous, those that dare to do things, you find out that, they will walk earlier than their peers. It's choosing motion over perfection. Starting is choosing what? Motion over what? Perfection. There are many people that want to start something with perfect condition. Even the Bible makes us to understand that he who looks at the wind will not sow. Okay? There is never a perfect condition. So when economists tells us all things being equal, from my early days, I've always asked the question, will things ever be equal? It's a major challenge that, we find as we go. Things are never equal. Situations will never give you that comfort you require to start. So you need to what? Choose. Choose motion over perfection. It is saying yes when everything screams wait. Everything around us when we began was telling us wait. There could be a better time. There could be a better time. There could be a better time. But of course, we went ahead to start anyway. It means choosing action over fear. Starting means what? Choosing what? Action over fear. It is believing in something when no one else does. It is believing in something when no one else does. Even your best fans, certain times, will what? Will beg to differ in certain things that you come up with. There's a period in our story that we call the period of persecution. And who were the people persecuting us? It was our parents. So our parents gave us the latitude. So as students, they gave us the latitude. So we are eating in their homes, doing this our pet project, no stress. Then we went for NYSC. We continued there, no stress. Then we came back from NYSC. And then we said, this is the path we will continue. And then they began to look at us. These people, are you guys reasonable? good grades, engineering, and of course, you know what was in vogue then. The Shell, the Schlumberger, the Ajib, of course, the oil and gas companies that we have here. So they expected every one of us, to begin to apply. And while they were considering that, they noticed that these guys, 1 month has come and gone, no application. We are not talking about, it is this our project. And I recall, sometimes, our parents will walk in. Of course, we use their living room, yeah. But all of them, just a few, were not civil servants, But bulk majority of them are civil servants. They will close from work, come in, see us, and then we'll be discussing that if we sell 1 million of our software, 1,000 then, that will make 1 million naira. And our parents, civil servants that we are earning less than 100,000, will be hearing millions from us every now and then. And after the discourse of this million, we will eat their food, we will beg them transport. So it kept on going like that. Come on, these guys will, talk about this million, they will eat our food, they will beg us transport. The million was not coming. And so, our parents began to nudge us, go get a job. And then begin to do this thing as what? Now we call it side hustle. They say do it part-time as a part-time job. And, good number of us said no. And of course, it became an issue. Parents began to report us, we're serious, time is ticking. And of course, there was subtle pressure as well, because you see some of your mates now, we are getting jobs. Some of them we are getting employed by the IOCs, so we are getting into bank, the ones that did similar, related causes. And of course, the pressure was mounting, but we stuck to what? The vision. So when no one else, even the people that are very close to you, do not believe, you need to believe in yourself. 20 years down the road now, the story is different, okay? And the parents that once persecuted us, all of them are proud of us. Proud that we stuck, to the cause that we were pursuing then. And sometimes starting means what? You need to start with absolutely nothing. Like our case, start with absolutely nothing. When we came back from NYC, we got few savings here and there. And we were so excited about the brain friend vision, and then of course the CBT vision, where exam bodies can go online. And then quickly we started off, and then we went to JAM. For those of you that are old enough here, the JAM registrar then used to be Professor Salim. And then we went to Salim, and then we told him, look at our idea. He looked at us. Young boys in their early 20s, telling him that, now exam will go electronic. He couldn't fathom it. And he just said, well, bright idea, but it will not happen, And then we went to Jerinde. Jerinde was the registrar of NECO then. We went to Mina, and the powerful thing, Mina, I had a church sister that was serving in Mina. She was the one that, accommodated us, in that journey. We went to Mina, met Jerinde. Jerinde told us that this vision, this thing you said, it will take Nigeria 30 years to be there. 30 years. The then Minister for Science and for the then Minister for Education, who went there as well. And then, Professor Fabian Osuji, those of you that are old enough, you know him as well. We got down there, and then we said, look at what we have. His technical advisors and the rest of them heard us, looked at us, and said, hey, young man, this is a radical innovation that you're bringing. That Nigeria is not right for this now. And these were the things we got. But it did not stop us. Every penny we had, these 3 trips, okay, Niger, Abuja, and then we went to Lagos, we went to WAEC office at Yaba as well, and we told them the same thing. And everybody was skeptical. Nobody believed that things like this could happen. But we saw it coming, and we believed in it. And we believed in ourselves. And today the lines are naturally falling, in pleasant places. Starting is never about having it all figured out. I remember when we started the journey, and they were asking, okay, JAMB was asking, How will you conduct exam for 1 million people? How many computers do you have? And then we didn't figure it out. But we just felt we had a solution that could do the job. And then that question came up. We went back and then we started calculating how many computers can come together for 1 million people to do this exam as it were. It's about having the courage to begin. So you just don't need to figure everything out. Just know what you need per time, and then things will take their place. Today we'll be looking at 3 key concepts: risk management, resilience, and reward maximization. Okay? Risk management involves identifying potential challenges before they occur. When we started, to be honest with us, there was no risk. As far as we are concerned, we had no risk. In fact, I keep on telling young people when I meet them, I say, look, when the Bible says you should bear your yoke in the days of your youth, it is the kind of business and the kind of things that we've done that makes me understand that scripture very well. When you're young, there was no risk. I mean, we could travel. I traveled, one of the trips, because then we are cloning hardware, we are cloning, of course, Buff Cafe in this school, Net Express. We are the ones working, repairing their computers and all that. Some business centers on campus and all that. That's the way we are getting money to fund our software, activities. Now, while we're doing that, one of the occasions we had to go to Lagos. We left with a 9 bus, went to Lagos, bought all the things, Tigba, that's Computer Village, and left there by 1 p.m. for Port Harcourt. That same, we went, bought, as you landed in the morning, the market was just opening. You entered the market, we bought until about 1. We came out, went to Orile. From there, we took a bus, 1 p.m., and headed back. We got into Port Harcourt about 9 p.m. that day. That's the kind of stunt we're pulling. No fear, no nothing. We just lived our lives that way. So, I wouldn't say there was so much of risk we thought about. But of course, as we began to grow in our business, there is the part of risk management. Resilience building. Focus on developing the ability to bounce back from setbacks. We'll be sharing one of our stories, in 2015, when they came and then stole all our computers in the office. We just moved into our new office, and then, of course, 50 laptops we are taking, our hard drives we are taking, and what kept us, 10 years after, all right, we are bigger, we are stronger after that incident. So we're going to look at, resilience. Reward. The reward. We've been rewarded in several ways. Rewards, and we'll also talk about that. You don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. You don't have to be what? To be great to start, but you have to what? Start to be great. Nobody, of course, would have known us if we had not started. I was sharing with some young people over the weekend. I said, there was a time we were pushing our vehicles. I mean, the cars will stop, the cars will stop, and then we'll push the vehicle on major roads, Aba Road, and some people that know us will call us, hey! And then, we'll wave back. We went hiding because it was just a phase in our life. And we understood it was just what? A phase. Today, if we choose to drive any car, we'll drive. And that's the way it is. So, you don't need to be great. I know most times when people want to start something, they look for all the money. They'll tell you they need this amount of capital to start. No. You start, and then greatness will follow. So, no capital, no connection, just conviction. No capital, no connection, just conviction. With no wealth or privilege, just determination, we started. An idea and a laptop that barely worked. The stunts we have pulled in this country, it will amaze you. It will amaze you. I mean, we didn't have laptop. So while we are doing all of this, so Total, we landed into Total, and then we had to do some things with Total, and then we had to host the service. We hosted it with a laptop that was borrowed. A laptop. I still remember their Latitude. My cousin's laptop, it was borrowed. The battery cannot last beyond like 10 minutes when it goes off. And then it will go off. That's how we started. So there was nothing. We just had vision and we were passionate. From homes to cafes and then shared spaces. That's how we were just moving, So when we came back from NYSC, my other cousin gave us a cubicle, small space for us to start, Said, okay, you people, we are looking for what to do. Go to this, my business center, 110 Agri Road, just by Agri Clinic. Agri Clinic is 112. That building that's where we started our journey. No investors, no fancy office. Today people want to start, they'll tell you they need this. In fact, now, venture capitalists now are the things now reigning. Of course, they came into Nigeria. Nigerians took them to the cleaners. They've all learned their lesson. But then there was nothing like VCs, no angel investors. We just started off like that. So no fancy office. We only got grit. We were prayerful. We were relentless in learning. We had a burning desire to build something that was meaningful. And as early as then, we were asked something and we said we want to build the Shell, okay? In our time, we want to build the next Schlumberger, we want to build the next Chevron. That was the insight we had about the journey we were taking there. And so it wasn't about, that we had all the luxuries, but we felt we could build something that could be like Shell, that could be like what? That could be like Total. Then it was Elf. That could be like what? That could be like Schlumberger, Liberty, these big names, that we've grown to meet. Doors began to open. The guide rails came in. Mentors began to come in, graciously. So we met with Professor Fakai. It was Dr. Fakai then. And then that's our chairman. And that's why we call him Daddy. He took us from that point, and then began to nurture us. Began to nurture without having any vested interest in the business. So he has a stake inside of it, And of course, the whole town, when things began to move, people would be, oh, his son has a stake. Oh, he's the one that owns the business. He seated down here. There was nothing. I was speaking with someone the other day. We're driving and we're just discussing about him. I say, see, when God puts people in front of you, we've worked, if through him, this organization has not made money, it will run into billions. Because apart from the normal e-campus things that we are doing, ideas that we share, that, and all of that, he had not one day asked us to say, IB or Ikechi or Boneri, that I need money. Not one day since we have known him. He's here. Not one day, not for a dime. And, it's rare when you see people that will take you. We've got them here. People that will stand in, for you. Beyond, personal interest. You would have said, of course, he had a son who is our age mate, and the others. You would have said, okay, let these ones also be part of the business before I can sponsor or help you people. That never came in. It took us, and we were learning. I remember when we came up with, scratch card. We wanted to do scratch card. He was then the rector. We went, all manner of things. We were scratch card. We started with PD card. We filled the card. We used Cortez, to do. Do all things with first principle. Everything inside of us here, you see us. If we want us now, we'll start a choir. We have choristers. Those of you that came to our 20th anniversary, you saw what, the rendition. We have everything complete. We have our media house. Yesterday, they did skits. 5 generations in the organization did skits. You think that, we studied theater. It's a complete art. is a complete out. And, in the midst of all of this, he took us like that, one phase to the other, learning things. And I'll just make one statement he made, which is quite profound and stuck with us, and I think it's going to stick with us, forever. He said, I'm going to give you my hair to cut. If you cut it well, he said, everybody will see. And when they ask me, who gave you this haircut? I'll say, it's this young boys, Cinfores. And then people will come, and you'll cut more hair. He said, if you don't cut it well, when they ask me, so who cut this hair? I'll say, it's this young boys, Cinfores. And then everybody will also run away from you. And that was the leverage he gave us. And from Bori, we came down here. Time will fail us to give the testimonies. And then, of course, while we are doing that journey, the likes of Professor Ayotamino also came into play. He was, of course, our associate in Cinfores. And then he also took us. I remember the day he took us to meet Professor Abby. She's meant to be here, but not here. She's a call, the registrar just gave me a call, there for me to answer. Professor Abe and, Professor Jenka of Unicorn. He said, look at the people that are working for us in RSU, in UST then, here. These people, I think, they can also help you. It was Professor Ayotamino that took us. We didn't know Professor Ajenka. It tells you how we can leverage on relationship. I didn't know Professor Ayotamino from anywhere. None of us. We only met at a stage, and that was Cinfores. That he was, a zonal director, a leader, that we are looking up to. And when the time came, that we need to move to the next level, and he had access, he took us, and then, gave us that access. And we also did not, also, according to us in local palace, we did not fall his hand. We went there and we did our best as well. And, it continues. I mean, there are people here, different people. Professor Way is here as well. The encouragement. The Vice Chancellor here as well, who has narrated his own story, took us from one place to the other. E-voting, we're on our own, and then he came. He said, you guys, you can do e-voting. I said, yes, we can do e-voting. In Cinfores, if it is conceivable, it is doable. Anything you just tell us, if you tell us, develop something to catch fish now, you just thought about it, just tell us. Oh, that's the way we are. So you raised it, and then, immediately, it worked. Of course, in all of these things, I will not miss to say we had challenges. Remember when I was starting, you don't look for what? Perfection. Right? You don't look for perfection. So while we are doing this, we had our errors, we had our mistakes. These people were careful to understand and work with us. We had e-voting here, twice, thrice, and then of course it was stabilized. INC now needed it. And then he called us. Say, hey, you guys, it was DSA then. Of course, through him, DSA, accommodation. So there are quite a lot of things. Just as he has introduced, sponsors link now, and then as he came, he has pushed us. E-Campus Mobile kept on pushing us. And the more they are nudging us to move forward, the more we were also being more innovative. So they took us by hand, took us to places. I mean, it's a community. There is no way you will tell the Cinfores story without looking at the community. Hebrews 12 will say, we are surrounded by what? A cloud of what? Witnesses. Here we are talking about a cloud of supporters. People in different ways that have moved us, encouraged us. When there was heat in the school here, and then of course people were saying, no, these boys, they are children of Fakaye, they were this and all of that. People stood by us, people encouraged us, people believed in it. This is the first time in the public we are discussing all of these things. In the midst of all of those chaotic things, people stood by us, people believed in us. The registrar had been there, IBS Harry, say, you guys try. I mean, we've had motivations from different places. The Dean PG School, when he became Dean PG School, All of a sudden, you understood everything was going. Encouragement. We just kept on receiving encouragement from people at different levels, in different ways as well. That, for us, is the most symbolic thing about our story. Where people had helped us to achieve all of the things that we have achieved. I mean, we've gone to the villa many times. We've done presentation for president. We don't know the president. We've done presentation for vice president. We don't know them. But people strategically, God had placed people in different places, to get things done for us. Risk management is crucial for any venture. It involves identifying and prioritizing risks to reduce their impact. Balancing risk and reward requires strategy, resilience, and adaptability. So we did a risk matrix, which of course we are going to share. Okay, for those of you that are risk managers, you know that there is a bit that has to do with risk identification. And in our story, we were able to spot, potential threats early. We recognize the challenges of launching tech startup in Nigeria, especially in the emerging digital space. We knew that things and ground, according to, in Pidgin, ground no level. There are quite a lot of ideas we had, and then we saw that things had to, we don't have all the resources, but we kept at it anyway. In some of these instances, we had to, even create. There's the part that has to do with risk assessment, evaluating the likelihood and the impact. Okay? We assessed our personal situation. When we are young, like I told us, we are single, no major family obligation. No major, nothing. No major family obligation. That's why I say bear your yoke while you're young. No major family obligation. So, we were able to look at it. It lowered our personal exposure. It lowered the risk, as it were. Risk mitigation is the next thing after you've assessed a risk. Taking steps to reduce the risk. What did we do? We minimized financial risk by building capital through what? Sweat equity, and through what? Our friends. So the first 3 years of Cinfores, friends worked for us for free. First 3 years. I mean, they are here, Friends worked for us from 2004 till 2007. There was nothing. Anytime we go out, we do a project, we just share the money equally amongst ourselves. If there's no money, we just move on. The day it comes, then it became, regular. Every week, maybe you have 1K, you have 2K, we'll move on. People we are borrowing money from their parents, bringing it to the business. We will use it when we execute projects. Then we're, of course, assembling computers and all of that to support the software. That's how we are moving. All right? So we use friends and families to mitigate the risk. Friends and families. Risk transfer, shifting risk to others. So one of the things you do in risk management is shifting the risk. Okay? So our friends and our families that we shared, we were able to share our operational risk and our operational costs. So when there is no money, all of us we did. Nobody is feeling, we did not feel as though we are owing any debt because there was no loan. Okay? Everything you bring, we'll give you back the one that we can. The one that we cannot, that it is part of what you're also contributing. And then, of course, risk acceptance is another thing that happens in, risk management strategy. We acknowledge and embrace the risk. We accepted the uncertainty of entrepreneurship and moved forward with with boldness and belief. We accepted it. We knew that, look, it will not be level. We knew, of course, the scenario that we are also working in Nigeria and all of that. But we moved on, and God has been gracious. And then, of course, there's the bit that has to do with risk monitoring, continuous tracking, and adapting. We remained agile. I mean, so during the COVID, so the first 15 years of Cinfores was basically education. And then COVID struck. And then during the COVID, we just discovered that. So there could be a time when all schools can be shut down. And that means our primary business will also be shut down. And so we began to look at how do we do this. And then, of course, graciously, the then governor, His Excellency Yeson Wike also called us to do things for the state. So it gave us that leverage, and then we began to look at other sectors. And the more we were looking at the other sectors, we were also seeing, needs. We're seeing needs. That's how we went into the legal sector, and we're happy to expand in that area. That's how we went into, tax management, we're able to expand, hospital management, and so on and so forth. So we began to spread our risk as we monitored it, so that we cannot be held down by by a sector. Resilience through adversity. Resilience is the strength to rise after setback, forged in challenges and defined by how we choose to respond. With the right support system, resilience becomes a shield that helps us endure, empowers us to face life's storm with courage, and keep pressing towards achieving our set goals. By embracing adversity, we uncover lessons that spark growth and transform our mindset. So one day, we walked into our office, and then it was in the morning, all getting ready for work. In 2015, we just moved into our new office apartment from Transamadi Gardens. And then, here we are. The story came, I was dressing up, my wife called me, the CEO, current CEO, at call. So she was asking my wife what I was doing, because she's the first person, normally she's one of the first set of people that get to the office. So she got into the office, and they just saw that everything broken, doors broken, things open, and so, and they went around and they saw that they boggled the office, everything, servers, gone, laptops, then we're keeping our laptops in the offices, all gone, some of our drives, external drives, were carted away. In the admin office, it was our office drawers, we are broken. So she didn't know how to pass the message to me. So she got across to my wife. My wife said, we are getting ready for work. And then said, okay. And then we got down to the office. So when we got down to the office, we saw people in our arena. So where we normally have our morning devotion, colleagues were there. What's wrong? Said, people boggled. What about our security people? Story, they tied them. The normal stories when people come. So they gave all those stories. We looked, we saw the footsteps, how they scaled the fence, and all of that. Called the police. Police, said they were coming. Later they came. What did we do? We just lifted up our voices that morning. We just worshiped God, we prayed, and said, we've not meant ill to anybody, so we don't know where this is coming from. And, the magnitude of our gadgets that we are taking, we are really, really baffling. But all the same, we appreciated God, and then, we moved. And I said, work continues. Everybody go home. If you have computer, get. If you don't have, borrow, and then we continue work. That's the way we started. So we got into our offices, we cleaned up. The police came, they were telling us not to, we looked at it. We came back to ourselves. We said, police will make us will not do work in the next 1 month. So let's allow them. Let's tell them we are not pursuing this case anymore. So that was how stylishly we left the matter without any this thing. They tried their investigation 2-3 days. We told them we are no longer interested. So we started rebuilding gradually. And maybe they thought that we were hosting all the things, within our office premises. They didn't know that, of course, we weren't doing that. But of course, we had local servers, servers for backups and all of that, we are carted away with. And then we started rebuilding. And You know, when that happened, somebody made a statement, and it's a statement that was made, you know, concerning the Israelites during the Holocaust. You know, an Israeli said, they thought they could bury us. They didn't know that we are seeds. And, you know, that became a major inspiration. They thought they could bury us. So whoever came perhaps thought this would be the end of this organization. They didn't know that we were seeds. And that seed that germinated, I know that whoever it is will be wondering, you know, the error the person had made, because we are waxing stronger by the day. So that loss didn't bury us. It planted us. And from that soil of adversity, we grow deeper roots. We rebuild, not just with equipment, but with conviction. Our resilience wasn't in what we recovered, but it was in how we responded. So it wasn't what we recovered, because we never recovered any of those things, but was how we responded. So when you start, you should know that that there will be loss, and you must respond appropriately. The heartbeat of Cinfores loss, resilience. When people leave, you know, we've had our close friends and associates leave. One of us is no more, that started, you know, the journey with us, and late Kiana Raymond Omeni, you know, and we all know how those loss, you know, that we felt. Whether when our staff leave us, I remember the first staff that, you know, resigned and was moving, you know, I went home and I was crying. What have we done wrong for somebody to resign, to leave? Because we felt, you know, we're a big family. And then, of course, the more it happened, the more we are building resilience, the more we are building coping mechanism, you know, as it were. Okay. We felt the ache of losing team members. Some left for brighter opportunities, others without a word. Each departure tested our spirit. But the mission never wavered. Cinfores was never just about who was present. It was about what we were building. Our resilience showed in our ability to absorb change, honor those who moved on, and keep moving forward with clarity and purpose. The heartbeats of Cinfores vulnerabilities. When storms hit, we stood taller. Some storms give warning, others strike without mercy. We've faced both. We've seen values compromised, made painful mistakes. We've endured system failures that shook our confidence. But each trial became a teacher. We didn't just survive, we evolved. Our resilience was forged in those moments of vulnerability, shaping a culture of integrity, learning, and strength. So, vulnerabilities. We have had our own fair share of mistakes and errors that we've made. Of course, when they came to that place, we changed our security architecture. You know, we were able to put, you know, electric fence. You know, we changed our doors so you can't just walk into our office now. Okay, all offices. As at then, it was only the main door, you know, that you had access. You know, you needed the biometric access. Now all of that changed. And then, of course, you know, we brought in security personnel as well. Okay, so you have armed men supporting, you know, the civilian security that, you know, we have in our premise. So it taught us to be more conscious. And then, of course, the way we were handling our files as well, we had to go into deeper encryption, you know, with all of that, you know. So even if you take our laptop today from us, okay, it is useless to you because of the level of encryption, you know, that is being done. So in all of these adversities, we learn new things. We learn how not to do certain things, and we learn how to do things better, okay? One of the vulnerabilities we had that really shook us was when we conducted a national CBT exam for PTDF. PTDF scholarship, of course, as you know, is the biggest scholarship in this country. So we're managing the overseas scholarship, and we went out conducting tests for them, I think in 6 or 7 centers across the country. I was in Abuja Center, My brother Ikechi was somewhere in Sokoto. We had some people in Meduguri. So we're all scattered across the country, normally 6, 7 centers. And then, here we were. Went out without properly testing, our CBT software. And then when we got out there, it was a mess. It was a big mess. I mean, some people wrote exams late into the night, in Owerri Center, and come on, it was a colossal failure. We came back and we were all wondering, I mean, when we got back to our hotel rooms, and I still remember that day, I fell down. Of course, when you are in, an organization, a Christian organization, you just feel you're infallible. Okay, God should be able to take care of all your mistakes and cover them for you. And that particular day, our mistakes, our errors were just before our face. And, we fell down on our faces. Just the way Joshua did when, he lost to, the people of Ai. And so, after all of the cries and everything, we are wondering what PTDF will do. But guess what? Graciously, these two Muslims, and tomorrow they are our very close friends. They came to us because we've been running that scholarship for 3 years plus without any issues. They say, Furo, we understand the challenges you've gone through. We are going to reschedule this test again in 2 weeks. We know that you will have perfected your system. We couldn't believe. We couldn't believe. And what happened? We just went in our normal selves and then told them that the error was from us. That, look, this issue, don't blame anything, is us. And we thought, it will go south. Rather, it went north. They gave us 2 weeks, and then 2 weeks we came, we had one of the best exams. They came, they were the ones saying, we told you that you people can fix it, and you'll get it done. Not too long, they introduced us to NUC. I mean, we were in our office, and then they just called us, from NUC, that the presidential scholarship, if you recall, the presidential scholarship for students that had first class and all of that. So we conducted that. They were the ones that recommended us for that scholarship. And, we've still kept that relationship today. Galadima, who was the GM then when we were working, is now the executive secretary of what? Of PTDF. And the relationship is still very solid. That's the kind of things that happen, So we grew forward, even when it hurts. We reached a breaking point where even our vision felt fragile and our sanity uncertain. But from the place of doubt, we chose to rebuild. What emerged wasn't just a company restored, but a culture refined, values clarified, and systems fortified. We didn't hide. We spoke honestly to our clients, laying bare the situation. Some walked away, but most stood with us. And that loyalty became part of our foundation. I mean, we've had this going. And anywhere you go, sometimes they say, you guys are honest to a fault. The current registrar of JAM, his own also happened. So they gave us the project. When he became registrar, he gave us the project for us to do the JAM brochure for 2 million candidates. And then we did our part. We designed the software, how the brochure would work and everything. And then we went. And then we had somebody who was to duplicate it in CDs for us. Guy in Lagos, and he told us he would do this 2 million in 1 week. And then we believed. We went in. And friends, 1 week, we were not able to get up to 200,000. And I remember that day in Unilag, in Unilag, the prof, Oloide now, called us. I said, you guys have not been able to deliver. He calls me Bufuro. You guys have not been able to deliver the things you said. We say, we've done the software. He says, beyond the software. We are paying for both software and, the CDs that will come up. And we told him, Prof, yes, we've not been able to deliver. And then some people came, and said they will be able to deliver this in 3 days. In 3 days. And he called us. He said, they are saying 3 days. I said, yes, Prof. If they can deliver, we will work with them to ensure that they deliver. So he was taken aback. He said, you're going to hand over everything to them? We said, yes. He said, hold on a minute. Then they had principal officers meeting, and then they called us in. Say, Mr. Ibufuro, they have been looking at you from afar. You and your team, you're not typical Nigerian businessmen. So you have a contract that has been signed and sealed, and because you're not able to meet up, you're willing to concede this contract to another team that have promised that they will meet up. He said, yes, so that, it's not about us. It's about JAMB. We don't want you to lose your credibility for the things you've said you will do. For this thing that you have said, Ibufuro, we will give you extra 2 days. If you meet up at least 500,000 in these extra 2 days, you will continue with the job. If you do not meet up, then these people will come in. Guess what? In the 2 days, we did 700,000. And then, that's how we finished that job. We went to JAMB, and then, he was saying, these young Nigerians that are so truthful, honest, and are willing to, they are not holding on to anything. So sometimes, when you look vulnerable in the business you're doing, you think you are vulnerable. You don't know that you're building what? Strength of integrity that people will look at and they will trust. Until tomorrow, even when we've stopped doing that project, till tomorrow, he still holds us, in high regard. That's the strength, of resilience. So Cinfores in action. So we've had the theft, we've had all of that. The theft, the loss, and our vulnerabilities. And we've always bounced back in all of these. The last part we'll look at is the reward. So reward is earned. It is not what? Given. We started with borrowed laptops. We lost everything to theft. Rebuilt from scratch. And today, we power digital transformation across the country. Today, Cinfores isn't just a business. It's a platform where young minds find purpose. So if you come to our organization, our internship slots used to be 20. Today, we have over 40 people, and we have over 50 people lined up now asking for internship, because young people come in there and then they find purpose. It's a place where ideas become tools and where technology meets transformation in the various sectors we improve through our services. The reward isn't just profits. It is becoming the kind of leaders who could build something that lasts, like Shell, like Schlumberger, like Apple, like Microsoft, and, your list, you can just go ahead and list, other companies that have done 30, 40 years and above. Every milestone we've reached is because someone believed, is because someone contributed, or stayed when it was hard. Staff stayed when it was hard. People, some of the staff, their friends, you are mocking them. Say, you still there for this place? Say, you still there for this place? What did they get? Come on. There was nothing. The first 3 years, there was nothing. But people stayed when it was what? Hard. This reward belongs to all of us. The likes of Samade, the likes of Oyema, the likes of Tosin, the likes of Ralph, the entire Agri Road crew, the entire Transamadi generation, Okujago 1 and 2 and 3. It's about all of us. Okay? People came in fragile and today are strong. We saw people, that came into our organization that studied history and diplomatic study like Cynthia, and today they are the people that are holding eCampus and all our education software in, whatever it is today. And their background didn't matter. People came from, social sciences. People came from humanities. And all they did was to give themselves to this call. And today they are formidable people setting things in the right direction. We are running the robust and the biggest, the most robust and the biggest court management information system in this country. And, my sister Faith is here before the program started, so we're discussing. She studied law in this school, and, we've been consulting together in different areas, and we're just discussing. And she said, look, I'm happy about your webinar series. I said, beyond the webinar, what is coming, is really audacious. In fact, this topic, audacity that we are seeing, we are starting something new. Our court management system now is bringing the correctional centers, all the investigative agencies, together. We are bringing the Ministry of Justice of all the across all the federation, all of them together, one melting point, so that you can actually handshake and get things. Not police does not know what is happening, and then the Ministry of Justice does not know, and all of that. It's never been done before, and this is the first time, a group of Nigerians are thinking about interconnecting all of these people together. And we are taking that bold step, not because it's clear, not because we know for clarity that, how all of this will pan out, but we know that it's the right step to take. We've had our first meeting with the Solicitor General of the Federation, and we know, they are already excited about the approach that we are taking. That is what, is reward to us. Every milestone we've reached is because of every one of us here. We earn this reward, but now we use it to build bridges for others. With almost 200 youthful workforce and over 40 interns from schools across the country, our reward is really building bridges, for others. Our reward matrix is there. We'll take our time to look at it. In conclusion, audacity to endure. Starting is audacious, but enduring is transformational. We began with nothing, but believe. There was no money, but believe. We faced theft, loss, and failure. We questioned our vision and our sanity sometimes. So sometimes when things go wrong like this, we'll sit down and then we'll act. It's a normal thing. So who sent us? Who sent us? But every time we ask ourselves who sent us, the response is, getting the solution concerning that particular problem. But each challenge became a chapter in our resilience story. We didn't just bounce back, we grew forward. The risk didn't disappear, the pain didn't vanish, but the rewards came, not as handouts, but as hard-earned milestones. Every client who stayed, every system we rebuilt, every lesson we learned, they became the currency of our growth. Cinfores is not just a company. It's a proof that when you dare to start and refuse to stop, you don't just build a business, you build a legacy. To every dreamer, to every builder, to every believer, start audaciously. Start resiliently. Earn your reward, because the future belongs to those who refuse to be buried, but those who choose to grow. You can't hide yourself. You can't hide yourself. So today the message to us is that we should start audaciously. Don't stop. Be resilient. Your reward is certain. For us, it's the legacy. Each time we see 21 products in 21 years. Some of the products came, some of the products, 3 years, 4 years, it will take like 5 years before the country will even understand to use it. So we came up with a stamping solution 3 years ago. all right? And then we discovered it while we were doing what we're doing for the courts. And 3 years down the line, NIPOS now is now using, the solution. It's going to be launched, in the next couple of weeks now with NIPOS, okay? It's called denoting, okay? For every document to be what? To be authentic, you must have what? A stamp on it. Stamp. So we have developed an electronic stamping platform. It came 3 years ago, but, the country is just catching up 3 years after. So you need to be audacious. Before I take my leave, a few things we've thought about, and then I'll call my brother and my sister, okay? You can come up now. Can we put our hands together from Sir Dr. Ikechi and Allah? They'll be speaking for us 2 minutes each, 3 minutes to share their perspective. Sir Ikechi has been my partner, he's my elder brother in this journey. His younger brother is also part of us. Ikechi studied mechanical engineering here. He has a PhD now, in business management as well. His younger brother studied electrical electronics here as well, okay? And of course, they are part of us. And, we sat back and we said, what are we going to do? We've been doing a lot for the school, but beyond what we are doing, some of the challenges we had, we feel we can actually also intervene. So one of the things that we'll be doing for this year, in the next 1 year, we are going to have an entrepreneurship development startup fund. And that fund, we are going to jumpstart that fund with about $10,000 US. We expect that 5 students, 5 students, just the way you see apprenticeship program and all of that. They will bring business proposals, mentors will come, review. We'll be working with, the Faculty of Management Sciences and, of course, Department for Entrepreneurial Studies and all of that. And then we'll come up with, a criteria, and then people that meet that criteria will be supporting them with that. But that's our own contribution. We are also going to be leveraging our partners and friends that we have all across the country, alumni of this school. They will also contribute to that course so that we'll be able to move it from just 5 students to 10 to 20 students, so that we'll have 10, 20, 30 Cinfores, hereafter. The second thing that we want to leave behind that we've noticed is that through Cinfores, the instrument of Cinfores, we got something. There's what is called the Final Year Brethren Fellowship, where they begin to teach us life after campus. And we've seen that it's a major gap that most times students do not have. We don't know what to do. Life after campus is beyond job hunting and career. There's marriage, there's teamwork in office and all of that. So there are a number of soft skills. We are also creating content in partnership with some of our friends and colleagues, so that all final year students of this school will also have access to that course, and then prepare for life, beyond the campus. So that's another thing that we'll be doing, for the school. We are working with the university currently to come up with a creative academy and innovation hub. We are also still going to continue, with that. We are hoping that by the month of October, the creative academy would have commenced. And that academy will offer students of this school the opportunity to have skills in IT around web development, animation, and things that has to do with products, design, UI, UX, and then of course things around cinematography and so on and so forth. So every student, just the way you know how to use the productivity tools, students of this school will also have access, to all of these skills that can make them to be very effective when they leave school. So the Creative Academy and Innovation Hub project, we will be part and parcel of that project to ensure that it comes to fruition at a record time. Our internship slots, we have increased it, from 10 to 20, now from 20 to 40. And we are saying we are going to have RSU students have 50% of that internship slot. So you're studying computer science, you're studying computer engineering and related courses, you can apply, okay? Of course, the platform is also available. We'll share the URL with students on student platform, so you'll be able to apply and then get that. Not just for internship alone, for students alone, also for graduate interns, okay? Also for graduate interns. So we have people that have gone for NYSC, and are back, and they want to acquire some level of experience so that they can use that experience, to show that, oh, I've worked for a place like, Cinfores, and, I volunteered, and I did this. Of course, you can also come in. So there are slots there, and then for UST graduates, we are also going to be committing at least 20 slots for UST graduates for the graduate internship program as well. And the last, commitment we are going to make today is our collaboration with the faculties of law, engineering, and the College of Medicine in the first instance to develop homegrown solutions that are AI-powered, right? So that we'll be able to serve. So what we are coming up with, for example, I just want to share a few things. The new COMI solution has an AI engine. If you put your case brief inside, it can tell you the flaws you have in your case brief. I mean, that's something that we have done already, and we are launching in the next, few weeks. It will tell you as, a complainant or, counsel, it will tell you that, see this case, look at the flaws you have. And then it will give you citations, laws, to also and authorities to show you that. When you have done, after you've corrected your own, if you go and put it, the defense lawyer will also look at what you have submitted. And there is the AI tool also that will make him, and then you'll be able to say, tell me this thing that this man has said. How can I counter him? AI will also tell him with laws and authorities and how he will go about countering it. These are tools, that are being developed. We are going to be working with the Faculty of Law to engage it. We tested it. You can also go ahead and ask about the biases of a judge. Say, this particular judge that our case is before, what are his biases based on the judgment he has been given? And then they will tell you that this judge, the judge likes to see, authorities and citations. If he doesn't see it, no matter how your argument is good, he will not answer. He gives you the biases. So you know the judge ahead of time. And most times, the judge may not even know that those are his biases. The judge is just giving judgment. The AI tool will pick all his judgments that he has made and then form that opinion about him. Now, all of these things are predictive, all right? You, as a human, you still have the final answer to say, yes, I accept or I don't accept. But what it is doing is that it's going to make, the work of the lawyer so simple to summarize all the record of proceedings and all of that. In the medical area as well, as symptoms are coming, for those of us, the profs that are there, we have the International Classification of Diseases now, the latest one, uploaded in our software. So as you put your symptoms, it is telling you what the kind of sickness that you are likely going to have. So it's reducing also and improving the efficiency of the medical personnel. So we will be working with the faculties to see how we will fine-tune these models, fine-tune them so that they will make work easier and then make us, to be more efficient, as producers of this solution. So So these are our commitments that we are making to the River State University, our alma mater today, even as an organization. I will allow my brother to speak, and then my sister as well, as we wrap up our session. Once again, thank you.
I'm not here for a speech. I'll just highlight a few things. That's a genius speaker. But he called me out, so I just have to hold the microphone. We didn't drop from the sky. We're formed by values, strong values, parental values. And one of the things, I keep looking at Professor Jaja, and I remember when he took us on history of science and technology. And I was that Tutankhamen, the boy king of Egypt. And you know what that did to us? It helped us think we could achieve, we could drive at our ambitions very early. Just the idea of Tutankhamen. If a boy could be king, then we too could champion causes. And so at that early age, 22, 23, we're not thinking of Yahoo and vices like they do today. We're thinking of national projects. We wanted to make news, not in the way of making fame. And then guess what? The earliest parts of the partnership began from studying for his course. So we came together. My first group together, you study group. So the group does engineering final year students will sit together. And that was where some of the bonds began. From studying together to pass his course, we all passed. Each person is given a chapter, you go read and come and teach us. And from there, the strike, he has told part of the story, and then we're friends. We felt we could do more. And we began to eat bole together. So each person will rotate houses. You go to your house, buy bole, we eat, you cook rice, we eat. And that bond is what has grown into a very formidable partnership today. So we didn't just drop from the sky. And the values we picked have also enabled us. The partnership journey has not been very smooth. We're human beings. Imagine having one board. 7 young men, I mean Niger Delta younger boys, all alpha males. And we were formed at the time when, even twin brothers were parting ways in business. But grace has kept us. We're different. I'm very different from Bufuru. Bufuru is very quiet. I'm not quiet. I'm not nearly quiet, right? Then how do we flow? But something, we have an arbitration system amongst us. A first layer of arbitration. So if we fight, if we try to have a fight, Bonelli will separate us. If Bonelli and Bufuru fight, they always fight in I will separate them. Then if it exceeds that level, then we have to Fakai. Or then our fathers were all alive. Coincidentally, our fathers are all gone. Now the next level of we have never brought two fights into him. But that's how we have done that. Because sometimes, you look at the right brothers and you imagine that they were brothers. But at some point, with success comes a lot of adversity. One person claims, look, if not for me, this would not have been. The other person, then we want to get married, and your wife will be like, you're working so hard. Are your brothers working? There will be different levels of conflict. Conflicts of opinions, conflicts of righteousness. I mean, God is saying I should go through that door. The other one is saying, no, Jesus, your own is God. Jesus said we should go through backyard. The other one is saying, Holy Spirit. Conflicts of righteousness. But we have to find a way. Sometimes you have to lower yourself. You have to say, okay, let's go with the whole opinion. They will always occur. But the humility to not let my voice be the loudest all the time. Sometimes, and the staff don't hear our voices. We have these differences and we do them in the silence and the secrecy of our top management meetings. At the board, we meet at the board level, sometimes outside the state, outside the city, sometimes over the weekend. We can shout, we can do anything, but not where the staff are. Of course, you know that there will be dissenting voices. Some staff will prefer Ibifuru to Ikechi, others prefer Boneri and all that. They will come whisper. We block, we create walls. We don't let those whispers bias our opinions towards the objectives. If we fight, if we have differences, we know that it's based on the work, not based on pettiness. And that has helped us, and it's still helping us going forward. The next level of partnership I want to project is our partnership with RSU. I remember we're celebrating this today. It's good I say this. The VC highlighted something. You know, by the time we threw in our first proposal, there was a German grant that needed to do what we're doing today. And we have a preference for the white skin. It's coming from abroad. So let's give it to them. Let's patronize it. And then there were some forces too in the leadership who felt these are our own. What better justification do we have? I mean, our own students have brought respite to us. Let's give them a try. The ability to take a risk on us was rare. But today, see how far it has come. If the German brands had been allowed to do their thing, there was nothing wrong with them. Okay? That would have enhanced the capital flights that we all suffer in Nigeria. Who knows how much we'll be paying today in dollars? Now we stepped down our earnings, okay, just to prove a point. And we came in, and beyond the original e-campus solution, imagine what we have done. I remember the first time post-UTME, after conversations at Abuja, the birthing of post-UTME, and then RSU wanted to get their teachers together to solve and set exams. And that morning, we spoke. I called the before, and we spoke. And then, who was heading the committee? Professor Emenike Wami. And I went in with my mom. My dad asked my mom to join, okay, for sentiment. And then we went in, and then Emenike Wami saw me and said, yes, you told me something about what you're doing. I said, yes, sir. It's happening. I said, yeah, what can you do? I said, we can handle your entire post-UTME. And he took me and my mom to the VC at Professor Chinelo then. At that time, back in the day, Professor Chinelo was my mom's chemistry teacher. And so the moment he saw my mom, the doors opened. What are you doing here? Emenike Wami said, oh, this is it. And he said, okay, let's give them a try. The ability to take risks on rookies is a credible ability, but it's rare. It's unique. It should be promoted. If you had said there will be more Cinfores this year, efforts could be made. But if you don't give them the environment to exhale, it might spoil things. Okay, it's good I say that. And the journey began. We did that in record time. It was a record 6 days. We set the exams. The last exam was done on Friday. Results were cleaned up by Monday. USC, the first in Nigeria, had their results released. And so when Total was considering their scholarships at the time, okay, we had approached them. And we reckoned with the fact that we were even doing for institutions. Total believed in us, and then they gave us their scholarship. And the journey, that's where the scholarship journey began. We have always partners. We want this partnership to blossom, not just for Cinfores, I conclude, not just for Cinfores, but for every Cinfores, potential Cinfores out there who has an idea. You were taught by UST. All UST needs to do to ensure that this makes sense. Do they deserve life? Let's give them a try. And you never can tell how far the wind of success will take them. And we all will make our race proud.
Okay, recently somebody asked me a question that how come I've stayed in Cinfores for this long? And I said that it hasn't been an easy journey, but it's something that I don't regret. And last week, a lady walked up to me. I know her. So when she greeted, I greeted, but I wasn't expecting a discussion. And she said, can I hug you? She and I hugged. And we hugged. And she whispered something to me. And I felt emotional. And I understood that for me, the reward is the impact. The reward is the legacy. Not because I have gotten it all, but because there's somebody out there that I have impacted. And that's the reward. Thank you.
Vice Chancellor, sir, permit me to invite Chairman of the occasion, Professor Bernie Fatnai, for the closing remarks. Appreciate him as he comes forward, please.
I seeing them? Thanks. Yeah, okay. All right, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, like it was stated earlier, it's part of our anniversary. So Cinfores turned, 21 on the 8th of September, and as part of our tradition, we normally would have, celebrations all through the week, So that celebration began, on Monday, and then of course through the week. On Tuesday, we had a raffle, part of ways we motivate ourselves. So we play a lot, even as we work hard, a lot. So part of the things we've done is to have every staff, ID put there. Take it to the VCs. Okay. And so a raffle has been ongoing all through, the week. Day one, 20 people won 50,000 naira each. 20 people won 50,000 naira each. Day two, 10 people won 100,000 naira each. Yesterday was day three. And graciously, we had the CMD of RSUTH, with us. And 5 people won, 200,000 naira each. Okay? And then he went ahead to also add more. He said 5 people not good enough, that he will increase the number. And he increased the number for us yesterday. I think we had like 7 or 8 people who won yesterday because he gave additional support to what we're doing. And we told ourselves that today, which is the climax of what we are doing, we will have, the honor of our Vice Chancellor pick the last raffle. Today, one staff will win 1 million naira. Okay? And so, the BC is here to help us. And that's why you see we are all excited and waiting patiently for that to happen. And we've got interns, and it's good we just recognize, and so that you just have an idea, because, what we've done is more of theory, okay? You need to see the practical of what we are doing. So these are all interns in the organization, and they are the ones running this committee, doing this all by themselves. They are all interns, okay, from different institutions, okay, running this, okay? And that's why they are out here. If they have anything to say, they will tell us. Also today, the VC will also help call out, the best staff for the last 1 year. We have them here, about 16 of them, so that, they will have the honor to snap with the Vice Chancellor and, people that are people on the eye table, just to motivate us. These are the things we do that have kept us going this 21 years. So kindly just oblige us. We'll just take a few moments of your time just to have these activities done. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Those media, ambassador of this university. What Cinfores is doing resonates with me as a human resource management scholar. Now, I hope our chief of is also here.
Yes, check it out.
You want to can she stand and not wave at us? What's the name? Tosi here. So when they took us to the arrest later, she will take us back for exercise and ask us to shake it up. And then, since the youth I can't keep talk about shake it up. All right. So I'm going to shake this. In this direction, just shake it up. enable me to do something that will be significant, that will be historical. For me, for an Intel to win this, for an Intel to work with us, I think that is Chairman, we are going to keep on around. Yes, let our chairman support you, not only support you for what we do. This is CGT. Zero two two. 022. Promise, Jay. Precious, finance and people operations, Joe and people, technical, Cynthia, and Mongoli, Samuel Ayo, Telema and Goyi, Naomi Lowe, Hannah,
Good afternoon, everyone. So, on the course of the week, we have been also giving daily prizes of 50,000 for male and female. So for today, we are going to use the best dressed male and the best dressed female. And for the male, we as the committee, we selected Sir Ikechukwu as the best dressed male. Sorry. So for the female, we as the committee, we selected Ma Crystal as the best dressed female. Here. We saw a picture of her. Okay. So because Miss Crystal is not here, she's around. Yes, I saw her. Yeah. Yeah, she's around. Okay. Okay. So thank you.
Thank you. We appreciate it. It's good hands together for the committee. Let's invite the chairman for his closing remarks.
Thank you very much. This is and all of us here. I think it's not a closing remark, it's actually vote of thanks. The reason is this: if you probably have had a drink and the same thing come true, you'll be excited. 20 years ago, when the drink came, nobody believed that by now we are going to have young people who will be helping us to move this university forward. In my address, I said, this university has gone a full cycle, having an alumnus as the Vice Chancellor. I took from Ibifuro's, even the Deputy Vice Chancellor, can you believe that now? So I took from Ibifuro's lecture. When we are talking about human resources, I think this university has a well-endowed alumni community. And with this, we can be sure that anywhere the graduates of this university go, like we have said, whales are everywhere, even outside the water. I hope we understand. And then we say the greatest. So I think we'll take this advantage. And this alumni series, lecture series we've started, mentoring series we've started, it's something that is coming to build up the university. So the director understands now that this is actually will become a subculture, so to say, to keep this university alive. And nobody will move this university about again. But it is a well empowered university from now onwards. So I will really believe that the next series that we are going to have, we are probably going to have people from different places. And I know people are watching us from all over, because the VC has told me that it's compiling general lists of all those who graduated from this university. If you want to Google somebody in the world and you cannot find the person anywhere, as if the person is a graduate of this university, the person's name must be somewhere in the web, in the internet, and where you are going to locate it will be this university. And so I want to thank you for coming, and thank you again, VC. Thank you given the privilege of seeing my dreams come true. God bless you and thank you for coming. Bye-bye.
Vice Chancellor, sir, we've come to the end of the third edition of the Distinguished Alumni Mentoring Series 2025. Permitting to invite University Librarian Dr. Mrs. Juliet C. Alex Mitchell for the closing prayer.
Let us pray. Choir, you will oblige me that song we sang when we started, Thy will be done, so we take this prayer. Thy will be done. Thy will be done. Oh, teach me from my heart to say, Thy will be done. Thank you. Heavenly Father, we want to appreciate this moment. We thank you for all we've heard from your son, Ibifuro. King of glory, the audacity which you have given us before everyone today who heard from it, the audacity to stand. And then it didn't just end there. It showcased the 3 R's: risk, resilience, and reward. And Father, Lord, we ask you that from all we've heard from him today, we know it can only be you. Thank you, Jehovah Elohim, in the name of Jesus. Teach us, Lord, to know that they thought that we are going to bury or we are going to be buried. But finally, they didn't know that we are going to be seeds. And this is what all of us today will always go home and think about. That through God and all he has to stand before and after us, we are not going to be buried. Rather, our reward will always recount, just like he did today, in the name of Jesus. Father, even as we live here, we are not leaving your presence. As we go home, go with us. Thank you because you have given us all these are. For in Jesus' mighty name we have prayed.
University Anthem.
Soon we sing of the flower of knowledge and peace. God in cities that are free, from whence inspirations come. The people of many and tongue, all my search and find the golden flame of all simple and humble song of excellence and creativity. Jesus, we sing of thee, flower of knowledge and peace. Is the way of toil as the bee, fruitful science and tech we grow. Live in motion the will of truth, of the sun, we must always flow. To build a nation of excellence and creativity.
Please, we'll have group photograph. We will have it here, sitting outside. Let's have it here. The first will be members of the high table, and thereafter we'll have the head of campus and the deans will join. And after that, the alumni will also join. And after the group photograph, members of the high table, deans, head of campus, the professors choir, the alumni expo, and the directors of Cinfores will join the Vice Chancellor in his office for refreshment.
Hey, hey, hey.
What are the flash drives?
Flash drive. Ask that guy on black. That guy right there in black. I told you, I told you. Proof science and tech we grow. Leaping motion, the wheel of truth. All the sound, we must always flow. To build a nation of excellence.
Please, we'll have group photograph. I think we will have it here. This is stationing outside. Just have it here. The first will be members of the high table, and thereafter we'll have the head of campus and the deans will join. And after that, the alumni expo will also join. And after the group photograph, members of the high table, deans, head of campus, the professors choir, the alumni expo, and the directors of Cinfores will join the Vice Chancellor in his office for refreshment.
Hey, hey, hey. Flash drive. Ask that guy on black. That guy right there in black.